Okay, those of us at school are back at school this week. This was going to be the week we were going to merge the two hybrid groups into full classes, but that's postponed at least till after spring break. So, without further ado, here, um, I'm just trying to get something adjusted here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up our Google Classroom. Okay, a couple of things I put up here just to touch on here. If you go down a couple of, put a couple of things up here today in the stream. Never share anything with me on Google Drive. Okay, don't share an assignment or anything unless I ask you to. And the reason for that's simple. I get a lot of students, I don't know why, but they share things with me in Google Drive. That's not where I go looking for assignments. That's not where I check your work. I check it in Google Classroom. Okay. So if someone does an assignment and shares it with me and I have no idea and we haven't discussed it or anything, I ignore it. Matter of fact, I delete a lot of them because they clutter up my drive. I'm guessing a lot of students are just doing it out of, I don't know, habit. Maybe some other teachers do that. I have no idea. But don't share. Now, the only exception to that is if I've been in communication with you and there's some reason I want you to share it with me. Okay. Once in a while, something comes up where a student, maybe they're having trouble submitting it in Google Classroom, or maybe it's a video or some reason that I want to use a Google Drive. If I'm in communication with you and I say, go ahead and share it with me, then I'm looking for it. That's different. But with the exception of that, don't share it with me on Google Drive. Make sure you submit it the normal way in Google Classroom. I think in past semesters too, I've had occasional students will do that thinking they're submitting it. They're not. Okay, I'm not looking at it, I'm not grading it. Unless I ask you in advance, do not do that. Okay. Um the let's see, I'm gonna go to what's going on. First of all, I reorganized the Google Classroom page. I don't know why, but I've been doing the weeks backwards. I'm supposed to have the current, I mean, other than the contact info, which is up here. I don't really need this anymore. I'm gonna get rid of that. Um Other than the contact info, which is up here. Whoops, forgot to delete that part. I I had the weeks backwards. You'd have to scroll down to the bottom to get to week 10. It should be the current week up here. So you'll notice they're all, this is the way it should be. So I fixed it. So our current week, first of all, this thing right here, it's just PowerPoint tutorials. It's not a lesson. Okay. These are optional tutorials. One of the things we're going to be starting is PowerPoint. You guys have PowerPoint for Windows. I have PowerPoint for Mac. They're very, very similar, but there's a few minor differences. Okay. So these are 3 tutorials made for PowerPoint for Windows. There's not an exact assignment. This is just to look at, to learn the basics. Just like with Word, it's important to learn the basics of PowerPoint, which I'll talk more about in a little bit. Okay. And we have our first PowerPoint assignment here, which I'll be going over in a little while. And we have a separate assignment about designing a presentation. And then we have one on tips. Okay, I'll cover that. Now, let's back up here just a moment. The word test, I gave an extended deadline for those that needed the weekend, and then I threw it up to Tuesday in case somebody needed it. Now, I was hoping most people would be done with it by today, but much to my surprise, most people did not have their word test in. So let me just review so everybody's very clear as to what you're supposed to do because it is incredibly, incredibly easy. Okay. It doesn't get much easier. This would be about, the level of like 5th grade work. Okay. This is very, very simple. So I don't intimidate anybody. What is here? There is a tutorial that will take you through the steps of what you need to do. You'll be going to the Word for Online Office 365. It shows you how to do that, how to go to Office 365 online. You'll be opening up a Word document in Office 365 online, not the full version. And I'm going to take you through 10 things that you're going to make. And then you're going to save it, make a copy to your desktop or however you want to get it so you can put it in Google Classroom. And then you're going to submit it. And that's it. It's that simple. Now, before I come back to this here, I'm going to click here to tell you what you're going to be making. When you make your Word document, and we're using the online version. Now, if you want to use the full version and can make the same stuff and do the same things and figure out the minor differences between the two, you're welcome to. I don't care which version you use. And if you have a Mac and you want to make it in the Mac version, that's okay too. We're doing very, very simple things. We're only doing 10 things. That's it. And it's basically a review and a test. But is it really a test? I mean, I'm calling it a test, but really it's just an assignment. You just watch me make these things and you make them. Now the challenge is do you have two windows on one computer? So you got one where you can watch me doing the tutorial and one where you're making your document. Or preferably if you have it, if you have more than one device, maybe you got two computers, maybe you have an iPad or even your phone, and you can watch a tutorial on one device and you can do your document on another one. Okay. That would probably be easiest. So that's the biggest challenge, is just trying to figure out how to look at it and do it here. Now, the first sentence here, you literally type that sentence. By the way, you type in Word Test 2021, you put your name there. This is called a header up here. You're going to be doing that farther down, but it goes up here. Now, then you're going to number 1 through 10 what you're going to make. It's very, very simple. Okay. Now, the first line, you literally type that sentence. You can highlight words in different colors, and you're going to use what's called the highlighter tool. Okay. And I have that in the tutorial. And you're going to pick different colors, and you're going to do at least 4 of these. Pretty simple. Do you have to do the exact same colors that I did? No. You can do some different colors from the highlight. When you get to the second sentence, show you how incredibly crazy simple this is. You type this sentence right here, and then you go through and make bold into bold. You make italic into italic, and you make underline into underline. That it doesn't get much easier. Okay, I was trying to think, could I make this easier? I don't think so. Now, this one here is a little bit unique. In Word, and this is the online version I made it in, they have a little option there for dictation. So I thought, why not try it out? You know, maybe some students don't even never tried it before. And this could save them a lot of typing. It could save them a lot of headaches, especially students that might have some disabilities. So we do a little dictation practice, and we literally say this sentence. And then afterwards, you can go back and edit it. Okay. So that's pretty darn simple. Now, when you get to number 4, paragraphs, this is where we're going to be using something called a paragraph dialog box. That's an important and very useful feature in Microsoft Word, because you type a lot of things in the course of your high school, and if you go to college and whatever you do in the future career, in paragraphs. Okay, first of all, I want to define a paragraph according to Microsoft Word. A paragraph is when you type and then you hit return. If you type one word and hit return, it's a paragraph. If you type a sentence and hit return, it's a paragraph. If you type a title and hit return, it's a paragraph. Now, notice what I'm saying here is not about what you talk about in English class. This is how Microsoft Word looks at things. So when you're formatting a paragraph, when you do type a traditional paragraph like this one right here, you want to make sure that you don't hit return until the end. Otherwise, your formatting might get screwed up. Now, what we do is you do have to type one actual paragraph, or if you can figure out how to do it with dictate. But then once you do that, we're going to copy it and we're going to paste it over and over so we can just use the same paragraph to do different formatting. Now, in the paragraph dialog box, it shows you how to do a first line indent like this. Shows you how to do, you can do a left alignment like this one. This one here is a center alignment. This one here is single space. This one here is probably 1.5 spacing. Yeah, that's some of the things that you learn how to do. First line indent, alignment. This one's called justify. It aligns on the left and the right perfectly even. but then it makes big gaps of space in between to make up for it. This one down here is first line hanging is called hanging indent. A hanging indent is opposite of a first line indent. Okay, first line indent would be where it goes in one, however far, 0.3 or whatever you make it. And hanging indent will leave the first line to the left and then indent everything else. So basically, you're going to make the one paragraph, you're going to copy it, you're going to paste it several more times, and you're going to format each of them a little bit different using the paragraph dialog box. That's probably the hardest thing on here, So, and this is very easy. Once you learn how to do it and watch my tutorial, you can be good at it in no time whatsoever. Then we get to number 5. We just insert a photo or graphic. So you can download one or use one you already have. Okay. I used one I already had. Why does it say 5 and there's no 6? Did I screw that up? That was my mistake. Somehow I left 6 off of there. Well, you guys end up with probably an easier assignment unless it's in the tutorial. I don't know where 6 is. So you went from 5 to 7. Not quite sure why. Okay, then we've got a table we make. Tables are for formatting stuff like this in the rows and columns. So we make this very, very easy. Header and footer. That's where you type. This is a footer down here. And this is a header way up here at the top. And you can put anything in it. Put your name, put date, put page number, whatever. Now, here's the thing. The header and the footer, the header is in its own area. It's not just go to the top and type. You actually got to go to header. It's in the tutorial. And it's like a separate area that you can only get to by going into the header view. And whatever you put in a header is going to be on every page of your document. So if you're making a 5-page document, it's going to be at the top of every page. Header text is typically 9-point and italic. Now, the footer is just like the header, but it's at the bottom. There it is right there. There's the next header down here. So this one, I haven't put your name, and then we add a page number. Okay. Actually, page number might have been, there's page number 9. Okay. So when you get to header and footer, you type header and footer here, but you actually, when you make them, they're going to be in the top and the bottom. Page number, you type it here, but when you actually make it, it's going to be down here in the bottom, in my case. Format Painter is just a way to do formatting. We copy and paste one of our paragraphs from above down here, and I just show you a few tips on how to do some formatting with it. So, and as far as leaving out maybe one question, you guys get off a little easier then. Okay. So that is the test. That's all you're going to do is make that document really, really easy. And now don't just look at my document and try and make it. Do look at the tutorial because learning the skills is incredibly important. Okay. And it's very easy. So if you haven't done the word test, focus on that today. Try to get that done today. Be done with it. Then up into this week. Tomorrow, I'll talk about the PowerPoint assignment. I'm not going to do that today because I spent a lot of time on the word test. But get the word test out of the way, most of you need to do. And then tomorrow, we can focus on the PowerPoint assignment. And these lessons kind of go along with it. And these other 2 assignments you can do anytime this week. And get them done in time. So that's pretty much it for now. I'm going to stop sharing. I don't know if any of you have any questions. If you do, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can go into the chat and put it in there. If not, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to review the basics of Word. It's very, very easy what I'm having you do, and I made a video for you to do it. And it looks like I screwed up somehow and left a question off, which means you're going to get it automatically. So, but we covered a lot of skills already in Word, and you did other assignments. Go back. So if you're behind in some of those other ones in Word where you got to look at a tutorial and make a document, make sure you do that. It's a good habit to learn how to do that. You're going to have to do that a lot in your future. And it's important to learn about using Microsoft Word for typing up documents of all different type. Okay. Any questions? Sarita, Hanson, Jody, Tyler, Cassidy, Aiden. Also, if any of you are behind any other work, make sure you get that in and be in touch with me if there's any problems or anything. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm here at the high school. Oh, this Wednesday, if any of you want to come in, I will be here all day, literally all day, like from 7:45 on till like 3 o'clock. But in the morning, I'll be busy in training. So you're welcome to come in and work. I might not be able to give you a lot of help in the morning, but the lab will be open if you want to come in and work in the lab, which is a nice place to work. Okay. So without further ado, if everything's okay, take care, everybody. You can put a bye or unmute yourself and say bye or see you or adios or something like that.
Pamape, or Mr. Rio.
What?
Pamape.
Okay, what is that?
That means see you later in our language.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Because if in the Native American community, you don't say bye. You say see you later or Pamape, because if you don't see them in this world, you see them in heaven.
Oh, okay. That's a nice thought. In Italian, we have something similar called arrivederci. It doesn't mean bye, it means till we meet again. So, I guess interpreted.
I really like the song See You Again.
Oh, yeah, that's a good song. Yeah.
Of course, I watch Fast and all the movies.
Okay.
Especially when I was young.
Oh, yeah. Okay, take care, Jotty. Take care, Tyler. If anyone's got questions, contact me anytime. Take care, Sarita. You have a good day. I have to go take care of a few things right now, okay? I'll put the recording up if anybody missed it. Okay, see ya.